trouble is all he's ever known.
Living in the car, forced to beggar's tale.
Caught up in a world that no one would choose.
It makes me cry, sir. From the time I was like 7 to I was 13, I don't remember seeing my mother at all, period.
Now, at just 14,
You know who I am? Armed robbery, assault on a police officer. It's a tough kid.
this family
There's your...
is giving him a chance,
You got yourself a family. Welcome home.
a whole new world of possibilities.
I gotta try again. I gotta try harder.
I like you, kid, man.
One last chance.
Look at me. Don't give up.
Next Thursday.
I'm Dan Rather. Thanks for choosing CBS. Stay tuned now for your late local news. We'll see you again tomorrow on the Hard News CBS Evening News from the Hudson County Courthouse in New Jersey. Good night.
For news 24 hours a day, CBS.com on the internet and on our interactive partner, America Online at keyword CBS News.
Tonight on The Late Show, Dave welcomes John Malkovich and actor Harland Williams. Plus, tonight's Top 10. First, your local news.
Cutbacks in the Livingston County budget could mean cuts in the Sheriff's Police Department. Controversy over a cut-down tree continues, and parents rally to help avert a teacher strike. CBS 31 News 10 at 10 starts now.
From WMBD TV, honored by our peers as Best Downstate Newscast, CBS 31 News at 10.
The Livingston County Sheriff's Department says its budget is already bare bones, yet the county board says it's not bare enough. Good evening, everyone. I'm Amy Paul.
And I'm Bob Larson. Thanks for joining us. The Livingston County proposed budget for the year 2000 is about $6.5 million for the general fund. More than 20 departments were told to cut their budget by 3 to 5%. The Sheriff's Department says it's willing to chop more than $140,000. And CBS 31's Darcy Thomas was in Pontiac following the story. Now, Darcy, where will the rest of the savings come from then?
Well, the county board wants the Sheriff's Department to cut its budget by more than $350,000. Well, that's $200,000 over the proposed cut already. Now, the board says the surplus money in its general budget has been eaten up by departmental expenditures. They say the only thing they can do to rebuild the fund is to make each department cut back, and that's including the Sheriff's Department.
At this time, lots of opportunities in Bloomington, Normal.
Some of these people protesting against the county board may end up on the sheriff's chopping block. So far, 2 of the department's top brass, a chief deputy and a captain, have opted for early retirement. Sheriff Marvin Rutledge says it's already an insult to force his department to cut so much. The injury will lie with the residents and his department's ability to protect and serve.
It can be jeopardized. Is it yet? No. The cuts have not been made yet. The potential, though, if the cuts are made, the potential is there that public safety can be jeopardized.
Board President J.T. Jacobson says every other department was told to cut back, most coming within or under the proposed budget. And he says the Sheriff's Department needs to follow suit.
It may take some reorganization, it may take some restructuring, it may be a new way of doing business for that department, but I'm sure we can do it without increasing the safety of our citizens and decreasing significantly the number of personnel in the department.
Now, the board says it's more than willing to work with the Sheriff's Department to come up with a budget that they can all be happy with.
Are there any other areas that they're going to cut in the Sheriff's Department?
Well, Bob, the sheriff says he's already cut the operations budget to a minimum. The only other option of saving money is in losing his employees. Now, there are still a lot of unanswered questions, but the sheriff and members of the Finance Committee are meeting tomorrow. So hopefully they're able to hash this entire thing out so they can get a budget that they both agree on.
Well, we'll see what happens. Thanks for that update. And while people in Livingston County are talking about cutbacks, in Peoria, it's about cutting down. Trees, that is.
One of the state's oldest and largest trees is causing more controversy than ever. It's a story CBS 31 News first brought you Tuesday night. On Tuesday, this white oak tree stood on a piece of land off Big Hollow Road in Peoria, which has been its home for about 350 to 400 years. Less than a day after CBS 31 News broke the story about a local man's efforts to save the tree from urban sprawl, this is what's left of the white oak. The tree's home is now the future home of an arts and crafts store, thanks to a Rockford developer. Several citizens who were working with the developer to save the old white oak, along with several other smaller ones, were shocked to hear about the tree's demise. Those angry citizens took out their frustrations today on the developer and the city zoning board during a hearing today.
These trees are our heritage, and we're getting to a point where we have just a handful left in this town.
Tom Edwards of Peoria was among many people today who pleaded to Peoria's zoning board and a Rockford developer to save what's left of the white oak trees on the corner of Big Hollow and Glen Hollow roads. The first Rockford group was in town to ask the zoning board for a variance that would change the layout of a store and parking lot planned for that corner. The company claims the variance would save the trees. Environmentalists say different.
The current plan from the developer, the variance will not be adequate to ensure any kind of future for these trees. So it may sound good on the surface, it will not work.
Joyce Blumenshine of the Sierra Club, along with Bill Sullivan of the Urban Forestry Board, say the damage has already been done with the destruction of the 400-year-old white oak.
It is a murder, it's gone.
Learn from the experience. Let the historic oak, the one that was estimated to be between 300 and 400 years of age, let that go as a martyr and learn from this experience and be prepared to develop an ordinance, just for want of a better name, a historic tree preservation ordinance.
The zoning board voted unanimously against the variance. Blumenshine says either way the vote went, it's a lose-lose situation for our environment.
It's a real dilemma.
And that leaves the fate of the remaining white oak trees up to the developer. The spokesman for First Rockford Group would not speak on camera, but did say they tried their best to get the variance to save the trees. A University of Illinois student had a brush with death after drinking massive amounts of alcohol. Police say a fraternity pledge drank 10 to 20 shots of alcohol in 2 hours at the Phi Kappa Tau house last night. The freshman is still in the hospital and is doing okay. Both police and university officials are investigating to see if it was a hazing incident. The Phi Tau chapter has been suspended.
Parents in the Congerville-Eureka-Goodfield School District are walking what soon could be picket lines. A group of about 30 parents and a few students used the lunch hour today to show their support for District 140 teachers by carrying signs. Now, last night, teachers voted in favor of a strike, saying the school board's latest offer to increase salaries by 2% isn't fair. Protest organizers say more and more parents are supporting the teachers as the battle lines get drawn. Most students say they realize what a prolonged strike would mean.
I would hate to see us have to go over in the summer just because of something like this. I mean, obviously the board has the money, they just don't want to give it up.
The board says it doesn't want to spend money it doesn't have to spend. The teachers could walk as early as Monday. No new talks have been scheduled. Meantime, no new talks have been scheduled in the ongoing teacher strike in Bureau County. In Spring Valley, the teachers union, the Board of Education, and a federal mediator met for 6.5 hours yesterday. Both sides exchanged proposals on pay hikes, but neither agreed on one. 50 elementary school teachers have been on strike in District 99 since September 27th. That means 700 students have been out of class.
One of 2 Peorians arrested following 8 armed robberies in the area last March is sentenced today to 13 years in prison. 35-year-old Bobby Ray Anderson Jr. was sentenced, while 41-year-old Eldridge Herring is already serving time. The pair was picked up following the holdup at Riley's Cleaners on West Glen, March 23rd. Police stopped a car at Sheridan in Albany after the holdup and arrested the pair. Anderson was indicted for 8 different holdups during a 30-hour period, while the grand jury charged Herring with being an accomplice in only the Riley Cleaners holdup. Police suspect the 8 robberies were committed to help feed a crack cocaine habit by Anderson.
Another lawsuit involving aftermarket auto body repair parts has been filed. Same lawyers who won $1.2 billion in damages against State Farm are now suing Country Company's insurance group. The claims are nearly identical to the State Farm case. The lawsuit filed in Madison County today accuses Country Companies of breach of contract and consumer fraud for allegedly using substandard parts. Critics say aftermarket auto body parts aren't as good as factory originals that come with cars. On Tuesday, Country Company said it would follow the lead of its Bloomington neighbor and suspend use of the parts. A Country Company spokeswoman declined to comment. Some scary moments for a Chicago woman today when she was simply driving down a street and then hit by an airplane tire that came through a wall and slammed into her car. Believe it or not, it all happened near Chicago's Midway Airport this afternoon. Nadia Brandon says that she was shaken up but wasn't seriously hurt. She was taken to a hospital because she's 7 months pregnant. The tire came off Northwest Airline Flight 1412 as it took off for Detroit. Officials say the plane flew on to Detroit, landed safely there about an hour later. Officials say there are no reports of injuries on the plane. The FAA is investigating.
Hurricane Irene is over the Florida Straits and has her eye on South Florida. The center of the storm is about 95 miles south-southwest of Key West, moving north at about 7 miles an hour. Winds are clocked about 75 miles per hour with higher gusts. The storm is expected to hit the Keys tomorrow. Much of southern Florida is under a hurricane warning. Meanwhile, in our area, plenty of sunshine today, but what about for the Big Friday?
Yeah, that's right. Big weekend coming up, and meteorologist Chuck Collins is here with our 10 at 10 first check of weather. Chuck?
Well, I think tomorrow could be a hooky day for some folks as temperatures may approach 80 degrees with partly sunny, windy, warm conditions, but boy, we'll go to the other extreme on the weekend. A big change coming, so enjoy tomorrow. The forecast, you can remember, calling for partly cloudy skies overnight, 48 by in the morning, 72 for your lunchtime temperature, and 77 tomorrow afternoon. But once again, we'll be getting cold on the weekend, downright cold for this time of the year. We may not even see 50 for a high by the time Sunday rolls around. All the forecast details and more coming up in a few minutes. Right now, your first check of 10 at 10 Sports. Here's Kurt.
Those hated rivals, the Red Sox and Yankees, doing battle in the playoffs again tonight. Game 2 of the AL Championship Series. The Yankees won last night's series opener. Tonight, the Red Sox looking to even the score. And Nomar Garciaparra is doing his best to even the score. In the 5th, he connects off David Cone. A 2-run homer to the seats and left. That gave the Red Sox a 2-1 lead, but the Yankees have just tied it, 2-2 in the 7th. More on baseball plus ISU basketball and the Rivermen later in sports. That's 10 at 10 Sports. Amy, Bob?
And that wraps up our 10-minute check of news, weather, and sports, but there's more to come, including a warning to anyone who may have been in St. Louis earlier this month. That story coming up in Health News.
Plus, usually only those who have cancer can understand what it's like. But that's changing with a new computer program.
Plus, Chuck has your detailed forecast that has an up and then a lot of down. But first, today's weather stats.
You're watching CBS 31 News 10 at 10 with Amy Paul and Bob Larson. Weather with meteorologist Chuck Collins and sports Dave Snell.
We're Sisters Super Center. It's a fun place to be. Walmart Super Center is the best place to shop if you want to get everything. They have fresh produce, fresh meat. Those look good. The best blueberry muffin. Clothes. Pizza. CDs. You can't do that anywhere else. You can only do it at the Super Center. And I know I can find the low prices here. My husband does tell me to Walmart clean. He opens up the checkbook and there's Walmart, 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 Walmart. Every single entry. It is true. I can come here, get everything I need, and then get back home to my family. It's one-stop shopping, and you're finished.
We love it. Every time I see you, I get a buck. Every time someone I know sees you, I get a buck.
Bullied by outrageous ATM fees?
Raise your hand in class, $5.
Don't torture yourself. SEFCU has over 80 free Money Center 24 ATMs for members.
At Pioneer Hybrid, one thing makes our soybeans different from all of the others. The most profit, most often. Pioneer, technology that yields success.
Tomorrow on the Morning Mix.
We're doing laundry tomorrow on the show. I think this is a first for us.
Finally clean this show up is what I'm looking forward to. I'll be out at Post and Pillar with Battle of the Sexes, another fun and games, so join us tomorrow for the Morning Mix.
Only 5 left. Only 5 1999 GM models left on the lot at Art Hostler Auto Plaza. Chevrolets, Oldsmobiles, Cadillacs. Only 5 left with discounts up to $5,000 and financing as low as 0%. Only 5 1999 GM models are left at Art Hostler Auto Plaza, Route 78 North in Canton, where they want your trade.
Can't complain about today, especially after Wednesday.
Yeah, but I bet we can complain a whole lot about the weekend if we stopped and thought about it, don't you?
Yeah, by Monday you'll be complaining. Yeah, you do the math. Near 80 tomorrow, and then a low of about 30 by Monday. So we're going to lose 50 degrees in the process regardless. Now, the models are disagreeing now on the rainfall chances over the weekend. We'll talk about that, but it will be blustery feeling by the time Sunday rolls around especially. Lows for tonight, upper 40s. We'll call it 48 by in the morning, and that's not a bad low for this time of the year. We're clearing 51 in Peoria, 54 in the Twin Cities, Bloomington normal, but the clouds, high clouds, are beginning to infiltrate the area. Humidity around 50%. The wind still out of the south at 14, so that'll create a fairly pleasant night and a nice day for tomorrow, although a little bit windy. All the rain we've been talking about, 5 inches already on the southern tip of Florida down toward the Keys. They're expecting maybe 5 to 10 inches more in some locations. That's Hurricane Irene. We'll talk more about her in a couple of minutes. All the moisture stays to the north for the time being, but eventually that's where the upper level flow will be coming from, and it'll bring that cold and some of that moisture our way. Cold front to our north, not much happening with that, but it'll kind of slide down this way and become stationary over the weekend and give us some showers. Now, it'll be a pesky type situation, and most of the computer models are telling us about maybe a ½ inch over the weekend and early next week, because all the atmospheric moisture will be taken by Irene, and there she is southwest of the Keys, creating a big problem for Florida, and will continue to do that over the weekend. So we'll see how much moisture she grabs. Other than that, it looks like just pesky showers and just kind of an ugly-looking weekend. And some of that shower activity could be mixed with snow showers, especially during the cold part of the night, especially Sunday night and Monday night into Tuesday. Highs for tomorrow, though, we'll call it about 77. And the 80s may come into Little Egypt in southern Illinois. All the weather, at least how it'll be affecting our situation here, directed by the jet stream. The upper level wind pattern at about 30,000 feet or so, running just to the north of us, so we're on the belly side of it. Very warm conditions for tomorrow only. But then look what happens by the weekend. The jet stream will have a big dip. It's what we call a trough in the jet stream, and it goes all the way down to northern Texas, so cold air will filter in. And most of the energy will run like this along the jet stream. But in the upper levels of the atmosphere, we'll get kind of a backwash effect as we go into the weekend. So that's where some of our showers may come from as well, including some of those snow showers we've been talking about. So we'll tweak the forecast rain-wise as we go into the next 18 to 24 hours. But it looks like, for the most part, it'll be cold and a big change coming. 48 tonight, southerly winds at 10 to 15. Partly sunny, windy and warm, and 77 tomorrow. Southwesterly winds 15 to 25. Remainder of the 8-day outlook, we're not calling for heavy rainfall, but a very pesky, rainy situation in here Saturday, Sunday, and once again, we could see some snow showers mixed in. The temperatures, most of the models are agreeing, is going to get downright chilly. The big question is how much rain will we get, and will we get any of those snow showers? But it will be chilly, mid-40s by Monday and Tuesday.
It's almost a 30-degree change from the high of one day to a high about 3 days later. Huh?
That's right, and get ready for it, because it's coming. Yeah.
Not my favorite time of year.
I don't think so. Thanks a lot. When we come back, putting yourself in the shoes of a cancer patient.
At 10:19, how virtual reality and modern technology is helping us understand what a cancer patient goes through.
And at 10:32, Amy and Chuck are putting on the Ritz with some fancy fall fashions.
When people come on wheel, they sort of lose control.
Wheel of Fortune. Give it a spin. Weeknights at 6:30 on CBS 31, the one and only.
I don't know the answers to all the questions, but I do know the difference between Mark Twain and Shania Twain.
Weekdays at 3 on CBS 31, the one and only.
Last day, Farrah made her triumphant return.
You weren't drunk, were you?
The last thing I would do with you, please, really, is be in an altered state.
Next Late Show, John Malkovich.
Roll on! Big savings at Menards. Dutch Boy Kids Room Interior Satin Paint covers in one coat and has superior dirt and stain resistance. On sale, just $11.99 a gallon after $2 rebate. Dress up your walls with decorative shelving from Nap & Boat. Great for toys, books, or knickknacks. This 4-shelf, 3-standard kit with brackets is on sale for just $29.99. Store it, shelve it, or display it with savings from Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
They're the best-selling minivans in the world. The most innovative ever. The most imitated. The most trusted. The most versatile. Dodge Caravan. It's not only the yardstick, it's the ruler. $18,775.
Carrier's exclusive comfort heat technology can keep your entire home consistently comfortable for about the same electricity a 100-watt bulb uses.
See your Carrier dealer about this special offer.
When it comes to your family's comfort, don't settle for second best. Demand Carrier products from Meyer Climate Control and see what a difference quality makes. Give Meyer Climate Control a call today.
Carrier, custom-made indoor weather.
Leaf Furniture celebrates its 96th anniversary with the best finance offer of the year. Enjoy no payments and no interest until 2001. And it gets better. Buyers have been planning this event for months in order to bring you special purchases in every department at incredible values. Special buys and no payments, no interest until 2001. Come, celebrate with us. Leaf Furniture, where you'll always feel right at home.
Ever wonder what someone struggling with cancer is feeling?
Well, most of us can provide emotional support, but we don't really have any idea how they're feeling. Emily Francis shows us how virtual reality is changing that.
It's hard enough to go through the trauma of cancer. Add to that, suffering through the chemotherapy or radiation treatments that follow. But it's the hidden burden that doctors are finally realizing is a virtual reality. Fatigue.
Fatigue really devastates quality of life. Fatigue has a physical component and also a mental component. Patients will feel like they don't have the energy to get up in the morning, to do their usual activities.
Neurologist Dr. Russell Portnoy of Beth Israel Medical Center says 9 out of 10 patients getting chemotherapy and 3 out of 4 patients undergoing radiation suffer from debilitating fatigue. I was introduced to a new virtual reality ride designed to teach doctors and hospital workers a lesson in compassion.
Keep your palm facing down.
Okay.
And when you're reaching for an object in the virtual reality, you want to do a simple forward, backward motion. And then...
After putting a helmet with 3D lenses on my head, I was ready for the reality ride, which started by meeting Grace, a cancer patient.
You've come to experience for yourself how much fatigue affects what I can and can't do. So, come walk in my steps.
I used these pedals to walk through Grace's world at her pace. The first job was to go to the kitchen and light the stove.
But I noticed that I'm not going as quickly as my mind would like to.
That must be the pharmacy.
The next thing I knew, the doorbell rang. But because I walked so slowly, by the time I got to the door and tried to pick up the check, the delivery man left. Then the tea kettle whistled, and I painstakingly tried to go back to the kitchen to turn it off. By the time I did that, the phone rang in the living room. When all was said and done, I honestly felt exhausted.
Now you have an idea of what it's like walking in my steps.
Emily Francis for CBS News.
The Illinois Department of Public Health wants to alert those of you who visited the Hard Rock Cafe in St. Louis earlier this month. A hepatitis A outbreak has been traced to a worker at that restaurant in Union Station. State Public Health Director John Lumpkin says people who ate at the restaurant either of the past 2 weekends should contact their doctor. Anyone who attended the Chicago Cubs St. Louis Cardinals series October 1st through the 3rd and who visited the Hard Rock Cafe could be infected. Hepatitis A is a viral infection that causes inflammation of the liver. Symptoms include appetite loss, fatigue, nausea, and vomiting. There also may be a yellowing of the skin.
Straight ahead in sports, Kurt Pegler answers the question, who's better at hockey, the Rivermen head coach or his sister?
And on Wall Street this Wednesday, the Dow Jones Industrial's up for a change, up about 54. Here's a look.
Remember when you first took her out? Making sure everything you said came out just right? And that first goodnight kiss? Well, she's a woman now, but she's also that girl you took out on that first date. Sweetest Day is this Saturday. Kroger has special prices on flowers, designer fragrances, and all the cards and candy you need to tell her you care. Sweetest Day is October 16th. Turn back the clock. Remember when. Stop by Kroger.
It's the way a good steak sandwich tastes like it came from a steakhouse.
And at Subway, it's the way we know when to bring back one of our all-time favorite sandwiches. Introducing the A1 Steak and Cheese Sandwich again. Hot, juicy strips of steak with melted cheese, served on fresh baked bread and topped with A1 steak sauce.
Come to Subway for the A1 Steak and Cheese Fresh Value Meal. At just $4.49, it comes with chips and a 21-ounce drink.
Subway, the way a sandwich should be.
Are you ready for a great deal? A money-saving party!
Get ready for the biggest selection of new Chevy cars and trucks in Jim McComb's history. 2 times as many Blazers as the other Peoria area dealers. Twice the Silverado extended cab 4x4s. And double the selection of Cavaliers and Impalas as the other Peoria area dealers. It's Central Illinois' largest Chevy inventory, all with the discounted one price clearly displayed. Only at Jim McComb's Chevy.
Service and selection are out of sight. Come deal with us, we're gonna treat you right.
Some people buy cut-rate car insurance figuring they'll probably never have a claim. But then, something goes wrong, and there's no State Farm agent to turn to for help. So, the choice is yours. Go with a State Farm agent who will be there for you, or go it alone.
Notice the weather lately? The hottest decade on record. Heat waves, wildfires, droughts, floods. What's happening? Leading scientists say the Earth is literally heating up, and the hotter it gets, the more extreme our weather will get. It's called global warming. Experts say it's mostly due to years of pollution from power plants and cars. There are solutions. Find out what business, government, and you can do to help. It's time to start fixing global warming now.
Amy's still in the funk tonight. She wishes that Boston Red Sox symbol was a Cleveland Indian up there, but it isn't, and so they trot along.
Yeah, the Red Sox are not scoring as many runs against the Yankees as they did against the Indians. It's a much better pitched series, at least for the time being. The Red Sox trying to turn the tables on that fabled curse of the Bambino. They've not won a world title since they traded Babe Ruth to the Yankees after the 1919 season. Tonight, the Red Sox and Yankees meet on a chilly night in the Bronx. It's Game 2 of the ALCS, scoreless in the 4th. When Tino Martinez turns on this Ramon Martinez pitch, that is gone. Solo homer to make it 1-0 Yankees. An inning later, however, the Red Sox grab the lead. 2 outs and a man on for Nomar Garciaparra, who homers off David Cone. But they're in the 8th right now, and the Yankees have reclaimed the lead, 3-2. Meanwhile, this man will not be managing the Chicago Cubs. Phil Garner, who interviewed for the Cubs job earlier this month, takes the Detroit Tigers job today. After the Tigers fire Larry Parrish, Garner spent the last 8 seasons managing in Milwaukee, where he was canned by the Brewers in August. Despite the threat of Hurricane Irene, the Illinois State-South Florida football game is still on Saturday in Tampa. Earlier today, both schools discussed the option of postponing the game due to the storm, which is scheduled to hit Florida's Gulf Coast Saturday morning. If they do play the game, Todd Berry will start redshirt freshman Dusty Burke at quarterback. Burke replaces the injured Kevin Glenn, who's out for the year with a knee injury. Media Day at Redbird Arena, where Tom Richardson chats with the press. Saturday, his ISU Redbirds start practice. Richardson replaces one of his mentors, Kevin Stallings.
A lot of the advice I got was just to be myself and not try to be anybody else, Kevin or anything. I learned a lot from Kevin and appreciate the opportunity he has helped me get. But basketball-wise, I'll add my own touches to it along with the collaboration with my staff.
Coach Rich is going to be a great coach for us. We all know it, we all feel it, and we all really like him as a coach right now. He's led to teams that were successful in the past, so we just need to give him everything that we got.
Ryan Crowley is one of 5 returning lettermen for the Redbirds. There are 7 newcomers on this year's roster. Nice honor for Illinois Wesleyan guard Corey Kuhn, named the first-team Division III preseason All-American by Street and Smith's magazine. Prep volleyball tonight. Halloween comes early as rivals Metamora and Washington are meeting in Washington tonight. This is Metamora's Rachel Roman nailing the hard spike. The Redbirds won Game 1 of this highly competitive match, but Washington came out on top tonight with kills like this from Katie Doherty. The Panthers win the next 2 games and win the match 2-1. Middle Illini match, meanwhile, at East Peoria tonight. It's the Red Raiders hosting the IVC Gray Ghosts. Ghosts serving here. East Peoria, Shayna Bradford to Krista Campbell to Mindy Hill for the spike. Oh, yeah. Later in the match is going to be a similar play. This time it's Bradford to Campbell to Adriana Higgins. It's the same result. We know that each team won one game of the match, but we don't have a final score to pass along to you. We can tell you that Woodruff beat Richwoods tonight in volleyball, and in soccer, Normal West blanks Mount Zion 3-0. The 1999 hockey season starts tomorrow for the Peoria Rivermen, who open the season at home against expansion Arkansas. It'll be the first game behind the Rivermen bench for new head coach Don Granato, who comes from a hockey family. His sister Cammie has been in the hockey spotlight ever since she won the gold medal with Team USA last February at the Olympic Games. Who's a better hockey player, you or Cammie?
I'm going to have to give it to Cammie. A couple of years ago, I wouldn't have, but being out of the game and on the coaching side with just a whistle around your neck, I don't know that I can keep up with her anymore.
All right. How do you like that? He says that Cammie is better. Wow. And congratulations tonight to Mark Walker, who now has a 3-game bowling championship record in Peoria, 856 pins. He beats the record by 4 pins, held by Tony Weisinger, the new ICC basketball coach.
Wow. Now he can join the famous Friday night newsroom
I think
bowling.
He would probably have more pins in one game than all 20 of us combined.
Yeah, I think I have the record for strikes, or not strikes, gutter balls.
Oh, yeah, gutter balls, right, lowest score.
Yeah, strikes, right. All right,
thanks a lot. Well, when we come back, a couple of familiar faces dressed up for a good cause.
But first, you could do the town in style yourself if you were holding a lucky lottery ticket. Tonight's winning lottery numbers are pick 3, 924, pick 4, 1697, little lot of 1, 6, 20, 25, and 30.
Tomorrow on the Morning Mix.
We're doing laundry tomorrow on the show. I think this is a first for us.
Finally clean this show up is what I'm looking forward to. I'll be out at Post and Pillar with Battle of the Sexes and other fun and games, so join us tomorrow for the Morning Mix.
Are you ready for a great deal? A money-saving party!
Get ready for the biggest selection of new Chevy cars and trucks in Jim McComb's history. 2 times as many Blazers as the other Peoria area dealers. Twice the Silverado extended cab 4x4s. And double the selection of Cavaliers and Impalas as the other Peoria area dealers. It's Central Illinois' largest Chevy inventory, all with the discounted one price clearly displayed. Only at Jim McComb's Chevy.
Service and selection are out of sight. Come deal with us, we're gonna treat you right.
If you missed out before,
don't miss out again.
The going out of business total inflation
at all remaining Builders Square locations.
Everything in the entire store is now slashed to at least 20 to 40% off.
Need a new washer, dryer, stove, or refrigerator?
We've got it, and they're all 20% off.
How about lumber and roofing?
We've got it, all for 20% off.
Guttering and siding?
We've got that too, and it's all 30% off.
Live plants and Stanley Hardware?
Oh yeah, we've got it, all for 40% off.
It's the going out of business total liquidation
at all remaining Builders Square locations.
Aldi Foods introduces a new way to pay for your groceries. Now use your ATM debit card for everything at Aldi. It's another fresh way to save.
Start your holiday shopping at the Hayloft's 28th Annual Award-winning Christmas Show this weekend. Choose from special around-the-world ornaments and decorations at the Hayloft, Route 29, Mossville.
For the 3rd year in a row, Paradise will host our largest giveaway of the year.
And you are our Great American Dream winner.
Oh, thank you much.
You have won the Great American Dream giveaway with the Paradise Hotel Casino.
You can be next. Don't miss your chance at the 99 Great American Dream giveaway. Visit Paradise October 1st through November 1st for your chance to win a new house, a new car, and $5,000 in cash. Plus, the winner will receive a $20,000 cash bonus if present at the drawing.
Play in Paradise.
When we redesigned Dodge Neon, we gave it a longer wheelbase and more total interior volume. Not to mention a 132-horse, 16-valve engine, 4-wheel independent suspension, theater-style lighting, 4 cup holders, a standard 6-speaker stereo, and tons of other good stuff. Dodge Neon. Different.
And finally tonight, Central Illinois' best dressed were strutting their stuff today.
The Peoria chapter of the Women's Council of Realtors held its 10th annual fall fashion show at the Country Club of Peoria. A sellout crowd of 200 people dined on dessert as models or pseudo-models like Chuck Collins and I showed off the latest in formal and casual fall fashion. When did they put this music in here? The event ultimately helps area realtors to further their selling skills.
This is probably our largest fundraiser. We have a golf outing too, and this one, and it pays for the officers to go for their training, and we also have scholarships for the realtors.
The clothes were provided by S&K, Bonnie's and Ticket, and C.R. Cook Furs and Fashions.
So
that music was not playing earlier.
I see. That was
More of that
the
stuff.
funky chicken or something. Anyway, what about weekend weather here?
They didn't get my shots in the fur I had on.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, crummy weekend coming up. There you go.
Okay, that's going to do it for us tonight. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Check out the plumbing department at Blaine's Farm and Fleet,
where you'll find some of the best values in town. Like a Brasscraft massaging shower head, just $4.99. Handheld water saver shower head, $9.99. Blaine's Farm and Fleet has a Hempy Pulse auger. It's a vibrating drain auger that pulverizes clogs. Right now, get one for $24.99 and pick up Robic Septic.